What's up? Piz out here for Retro Wrestling Night. And yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. I have hijacked this channel from CK so that I could talk to you guys a little bit about the pay-per-view that just wrapped up tonight. I'm talking about WWE Capital Punishment. I'm going to do kind of a rundown, a recap, a review of the pay-per-view, and kind of talk about the state of professional wrestling as I see it today. And I want to do that now. There's a lot of stuff I kind of want to... I'm glad I've got this opportunity to talk about wrestling on a wrestling channel because I love professional wrestling. I've been a professional wrestling fan on and off for a long time. And particularly WWE. What I want to talk about in the WWE here before I get started about the pay-per-view is the future of the WWE. The fact that it seems like for the past little while, the past maybe even couple of years, they've been trying to set up new talent, new stars. They've been giving new young guys, fresh, hot talent, whatever, the ball and letting them run with it. I'm talking about guys like Sheamus, guys like Jack Swagger, Kofi Kingston, John Morrison, The Miz, Alberto Del Rio. He's really hot right now. But then they get the push. They get the strap. Jack Swagger, champion. Sheamus was champion twice. Then they get the pullback. Sheamus, after he was champion 2 times, he's been in pro wrestling for 6 months. He's been the champion twice. Now he goes into a program with Santino Marella. Jack Swagger was the champion. 6 months later, he's Michael Cole's lackey. And I mean, don't even get me started on the career free fall. That's the most epic career free fall I've ever seen in my life is The Miz. He goes from headlining WrestleMania, the main event. Of course, you could make the argument that The Rock was the main event, the headliner at the last WrestleMania. But for the sake of argument, Miz is there, main event, headlining, and he defends his championship. He beats John Cena at WrestleMania. Fast forward a couple of months, now his lackey on a weekly basis is kicking his ass, and now he's at this pay-per-view going up against his bootlick. So I'm really confused as to where, what's going to happen with the WWE, because everybody's saying for the past 5 years it's been the same 5 guys. The Attitude Era is over. Cena, may have, I don't know, between maybe 5 years left in him. Randy Orton, maybe the same. I mean, professional wrestling careers, they end. I mean, look at Edge's career. Look how he went out. What time you have, even if you're young in professional wrestling, is kind of like borrowed time. But anyway, I'm really curious to see what they're going to do. I mean, I like a lot of the young talent. I like Jack Swagger. I like Sheamus. I like Alberto Del Rio. I like The Miz. But what are they? What are they doing with them to get them over, to give them the push? There's a lot of good young talent in the WWE, but at the same time, who's our champions? Cena and Orton. Who's been the champions, who's been the headlining guys there for the past 5 years? Basically Cena and Orton. Nothing's really changed. They're not giving these young guys the opportunity to take the ball and run with it and see if they've got talent. And we know they do. I mean, look, Alberto Del Rio is awesome, but they've got him in a program with The Big Show. Again, Swagger I think is great, but Swagger became Michael Cole's bootlick. Sheamus, and Sheamus is at least they're putting him in the contender role. They're going to give him a shot, I'm guessing, at the championship after this pay-per-view. And that's just something I wanted to get off my chest. I'm interested to see what you guys out there think about that, and think about the future of the WWE, and think about the future stars of the WWE, and when are they going to get that push? Because again, and God forbid, what happens if Randy Orton and John Cena have to go out for 6 months, a year with an injury? What if one of their careers ends? Whose face is going to be on that poster? who's going to sell the tickets? Right now, they don't really have anybody to do that. It's Cena and it's Orton, and it's basically everybody else. But anyway, let's talk about Capital Punishment. Live from our nation's capital. Match 1, Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. I did take notes on all these matches. The only note I wrote for this match was boring. Dolph Ziggler is the new U.S. champion. Dolph Ziggler is someone I should have mentioned in the little prologue talking about the future of the WWE. Very talented guy, I think. Got a lot of ring skill. Doesn't have a whole lot of mic skill, though. Kofi Kingston, kind of the same thing. Great wrestler, great high flyer, a lot of good moves. Haven't heard a lot of talk out of him. Haven't seen a whole lot of charisma out of him. But the crowd likes him. Match 2, we've got The Miz versus Alex Riley. And The Miz's career free fall continues. Alex Riley beats him. It was a fun match. But I mean, what is going to happen to The Miz? I mean, The Miz has to completely reinvent himself at this point. Or, I mean, he's going to be not even a mid-card guy going forward. He's not going to get championship, matches going forward now. I see people like, Del Rio getting those opportunities in the future. There's so many heels in the WWE right now and so few baby faces. It seems like the smart thing to do would reinvent him, turn him into a baby face, and, see how that goes. And Alex Riley, thumbs up to him. He's come out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he's looking like a star. He's looking more like a star than The Miz is at this point. So, thumbs up to Alex Riley. The Miz, wow, man. Oh my God. I mean, if you told me at WrestleMania, after The Miz beat Cena, that literally 2 months later, or well, a little longer than that, but just a few months down the line, he would be in a match with Alex Riley at a pay-per-view, and he's going to put over Riley. He's going to lose to Riley and lose pretty. It was one of those typical sort of babyface matches. Riley's getting the hell beat out of him for most of the match, but then he makes the big comeback and beats The Miz. I would have said you were crazy, but anyway. Match 3, Alberto Del Rio versus The Big Show. Completely meaningless match. A win for either of them isn't going to do anything for them. Not sure why this program even started. The match was over before it even started. Mark Henry got involved, slammed The Big Show through the announcer's table, slammed his knee into the floor, messed him all up. They still dragged the match out. The match should have ended there. They still dragged the match out for about 15 minutes with The Big Show crawling into the ring, shambling around, Del Rio kicking his leg over and over again. Finally, the referee called it because Big Show couldn't proceed. Complete and utter waste of time. I guess, I don't know what happened. Maybe they had a match that fell through. They had a scheduled match that fell through and they needed to kill some time. I don't know, but that was just completely meaningless match. A total waste of time, my note says. Match 4, Ezekiel Jackson versus Wade Barrett. Of course, the core has dissolved, which is only a good thing for Wade Barrett. I was really happy to see Wade Barrett go to SmackDown and leave the Nexus behind in WWE when that draft happened, because I think Wade Barrett is one of those young up-and-coming guys who can be the future of the WWE. Good wrestler, good mic skills, good character, good charisma, good personality. But then week 1 in SmackDown, here's Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater. Here's the core, which is just a horrible idea. They've handcuffed the poor guy. Now the core's dissolved. Barrett can spread his wings and be one of those future guys. Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater will soon be appearing at a McDonald's near you, asking you if you want to supersize those fries. Big Zeke wins the match. And this match was really all on Wade Barrett's shoulders, because Big Zeke, all he can do is clotheslines and body slams, and Barrett had to Barrett had to do all the work, and he got put up in the torture rack and he tapped out. Zeke is the new champion. Booker T got in the ring and interviewed Zeke. Every time they put a mic in front of Zeke's mouth, it reminds me of why up until the point he joined the core, I'd never heard him speak. He has no business speaking on mic. Neither does Gabriel or Slater, to be honest with you. okay match. Nothing to write home about. Match 5, Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk. Really good match. I mean, CM Punk is one of those guys that week in, week out is just... Yeah, I mean, he's a great wrestler. He tells a great story. He's got great ring skills, great mic skills, personality, charisma. He's always fun to watch. He's always fun to listen to. He's a total package in my book. I don't think he gets enough credit. And Mysterio, a great wrestler. You know, both these guys have been around for a long time. Both these guys know how to put on a good match, know how to tell a good story. It was a really good match. Punk ended up the winner. And really, it didn't matter who won or lost. A win or loss wasn't going to benefit either of these guys in the long run. They were there to put on a great match, and they did that. Very good match. Next up was Christian versus Orton. And I thought I knew how this match was going to go. Here's how I thought the match was going to end. I thought Christian would beat Orton. Orton would chase Christian for the belt to Money in the Bank and SummerSlam and win it back at either one of those. Christian would fall on his knees, beg forgiveness from the Peeps. Of course, the Peeps would give him forgiveness, and then he would spend the rest of his career as a mid-card babyface. But again, another good match, not quite as good as the match at Over the Limit between those two, which was a great match, the only good match at that pay-per-view. There was a horrible, horrible pay-per-view with the exception of that match, which was really good. This one, pretty good match. Typical, super boring ending. Orton hits him with the RKO out of nowhere. Game over. Christian tries to say that his leg was underneath the rope. Orton smashes him in the head with the belt. We go home. I don't know where the Christian as heel thing is going to go. Christian, since he won the championship against Del Rio, he held it for 5 days, which of course they tape SmackDown on Tuesday. So he actually didn't hold it for not even 2 days, not even 2 full days. He held that belt, then he dropped it to Orton. Honestly, I feel bad for Christian, but before that, I felt bad for Orton because the same thing was kind of happening to Orton when he was on Raw. He went from, champion to losing it, and then, being a contender and just losing and losing and losing and losing. So, I don't know. I'm wondering what's going to happen to Christian going forward. Good match, boring, typical ending. Then we've got Jack Swagger versus Evan Bourne. And I was hoping that this was going to be kind of the sleeper match. Swagger and Bourne, both really talented young guys in the WWE. Bourne, a super high flyer, got a lot of moves. Jack Swagger, just, again, I think a total package kind of guy. Really good in the ring. I was hoping that since he went to Raw, that they would, reinvent him as kind of a babyface. He would turn against Michael Cole and cost him the match against Jerry Lawler at whatever pay-per-view, and get the fans back behind him, turn him into a face, and have him in the ring contending for a championship. That of course hasn't happened. Decent match. Of course, Evan Bourne won. They were saying, "Oh, what an upset! What an upset! What an upset!" And I'm like, how many times has Swagger put Bourne over here in the past few weeks? I think Bourne has won 3 of the 4 matches, not including tonight's pay-per-view that he's had with Swagger. What's an upset about that? I don't get that. Decent match, okay ending. Evan Bourne wins it. Then they brought out this Obama lookalike. Who? What was interesting though is he said good luck to R-Truth, and the crowd erupted. The crowd cheered for R-Truth. Okay, interesting. Good luck to John Cena, and it was a mixture of boos and cheers, but mostly boos for John Cena. He then got in the ring with Booker T and did Spinneroonie. Blah. Who cares about that? And then we've got the main event, R-Truth versus Cena. R-Truth, since he lost his mind, he's been the standout in the WWE. He's been the most electrifying guy in the WWE, the most interesting guy in the WWE. I've become a huge R-Truth fan since he lost his mind. I think what he's doing is really funny, really entertaining. The whole little Jimmy thing is awesome. I envision this match ending with R-Truth walking out as the champion. I really hoped that would happen. All hatred for John Cena aside, all hatred for his stale, overblown, old, stupid gimmick. Wrestling fans, people who know about wrestling, who like wrestling, who are serious wrestling fans, hate John Cena. He does the same 5 moves every match. Every match of his is exactly the same, including tonight. Here's my note. Good match, but typical Cena abrupt ending after a match-long ass-whooping. Basically, R-Truth was handing him his ass the entire night. R-Truth goes outside the ring after he does his finishing move on Cena. Cena rolls outside. R-Truth walks outside, walks up to a little Jimmy, takes off the kid's John Cena hat, turns it around backwards, takes his drink, takes a sip, hands it back to the kid. The kid throws it in his face. Cena grabs him, throws him in the ring, does the attitude adjustment, and the match is over. Another Super Cena, horrible Cena match. Cena gets his ass whooped the whole match, does the same 5 moves he does in every match, and wins abruptly. I mean, I thought it's not quite as bad as the over the limit win against Miz, which to me, my mind is still blown after that one. I mean, to take a beating like that and then to turn a half-hour beating from 2 men and then to turn it around literally in 5 minutes and have the Miz say I quit just is an insult, I felt. This match not quite as big an insult, but pretty just typical. You know, just same old Cena, boring crap. I mean, you can, you know, I don't know who's writing these things, but it's the same crap over and over again for John Cena. Oh my God, I'm praying to God that they're not going to have Cena hold on to that belt until WrestleMania this year or next year and have some sort of championship match against him and The Rock where the belt's up for grabs, because they don't need that. That match doesn't need to be a championship match. You know, give the belt to somebody else. Cena sucks. Oh my God, I could go on a huge rant about John Cena for another 18 minutes. And, but anyway, basically just a glorified Raw episode, I would say, overall. If you paid $60 for it, or if I paid $60 for it, which I didn't, I'd be a little upset. But, yeah, basically glorified Raw episode. Couple of good matches here and there. Nothing to write home about. So, yeah, anyway. So, yeah, I want to thank CK for letting me post this on the Retro Wrestling Night channel. And if you dug, you know, come by my channel, hang out, say hello. And probably do some more of these if I take a notion to, if CK's cool with it. So anyway, you guys take it easy, and until next time.